What's up, Fearless Church? Pastor Chris here. Been thinking a lot about what we're hearing in the news as we get ready to reopen America. There's discussion of phase 1, 2, and 3. When will that start? How long will it last? What will be the specific instructions and directions we'll have? No matter what, going forward, things are going to change, and they're going to change more than once. What made me think of the famous words, many of you have probably heard these words before, from the wisest man that ever lived. His name is Solomon. At one time, Solomon served as the king over Israel, and he was so wise, and he wrote multiple books of the Bible, and one of those is the book of Ecclesiastes. And listen to what he said in Ecclesiastes chapter 3. For everything there is a season, a time for every activity under heaven. And then he lists some of the famous things you've heard. You know, there's a time to be born, there's a time to die, a time to plant, a time to harvest, a time to kill, and a time to heal, a time to tear down, and a time to build up. And he continues on down. And then in verse 11, he says this, Yet God has made everything beautiful for its own time. He has planted eternity in the heart of the human. But even so, people cannot see the whole scope of God's work from beginning to end. In other words, our perspective about what season or what time we are living in is very limited. It's often just limited by what we know today. And the reality is oftentimes we face moments like we are in now where we don't know what tomorrow holds. We don't know what next week or next month holds. But we know what Solomon says is true. And that's the reality that God has made everything beautiful in its own time. In other words, there's something God wants to do in your life and through your life in this season. In this season, guaranteed that things are going to change. May is not going to look like April, and the reality is June is not going to look like May. We don't know how long this season will be. We don't know what each phase will look like, but in each phase, you're going to have new opportunities to reflect the beautiful and wonderful nature of Christ in our words and our actions. And so as you prepare for phase 1, whatever that may look like for you and your family, say, God, all right, I'm ready for this time. I'm ready for this season, realizing this time and season may only last a few weeks or possibly a few months. Phase 1's not going to last forever. Neither will phase 2, neither will phase 3. And I don't know, and you don't know, what the new normal will look like this fall or next year whenever we get through these phases. But we can know that this season and this time will be beautiful because God is in control and orchestrating every single moment. Love you guys and hope that you are encouraged by today's thought. God bless.